Morning. It is 7 a.m. Wednesday morning. Bless it, Lord. I'm trying to put my other chat in front of me so that I could see everything. Okay. We not just gonna wait this morning because we be having stuff to do, don't we? We do. So we just gonna go ahead and jump on in, and I will see y'all when I see y'all. Just go ahead and grab this later, and we will see what we talking about. So today is day 3 of a 5-day coaching series on vision and goals. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. I'm just making sure my sound and everything is okay. So here we go, because I'm not a professional at this thing. Now I can rock with a lot of things, but trying to work this, it works me a little bit. But we get it, we got it, we here. So for y'all that don't know me, I am Coach Tawanda. I am a certified and called life coach, bestseller author, and I am the podcast host of Talks with Tawanda, a space that's been created to allow a safe space, allow space for healing, allow space for growth, allow space of understanding self, taking accountability, just all the things to help us get from where we are to where we want to be. The journey started for me. We'll talk about it later. Just going through the motions myself. Good morning, good morning, good morning, truth seeker. So just going through the motions myself, learning, growing, just experiencing life from a lens differently than what I experienced life from many days, right? So we went through the depression, we went through just the loss of so much and just things of that nature. And within that journey is when I just really took heed of just being with myself, understanding what I want, what I need, and moving forward within that. So this week we have been talking about visions and goals. Because where are we going? What are we doing? Instead of us just waking up every morning, just going with the flow, not really having anything attached to our day that will bring us the satisfaction that we really seek to have. So we talked about on Monday, we talked about vision. Everyone had an assignment to start visioning a journey. What is your vision? What is the thing that you really desire to have? And then yesterday, we talked about goals. So we have the vision and we had to put something with it, which was goals. So we put our goals with our vision. And we used the example of Jamaica. So I am excited about this Jamaica trip. I don't know about y'all, but I am excited about the Jamaica trip. I have not been to Jamaica. It is something that has been on my bucket list. And I will be honest, I have sat many days and I've been like, oh, I'm going to go to Jamaica. I want to go to Jamaica. But I've not put the plan together. It has been on my board. I have traveled. I've been to different places, Aruba and Dominican Republic. I've been to a few different places. But Jamaica is on there and I've not been yet. So we're going to Jamaica next year, y'all. Because that was one of my visions. I saw myself in Jamaica. The last few days been pretty cool too, because y'all, I've been seeing myself in Jamaica, right? Because it's the vision. I have to see it before I see it. So I lay and I see myself getting together. I've seen myself packing bags. I've seen myself looking at flights. I've seen myself doing the things, just little snippets to keep me in line with what it is that I'm looking to do. That's going to Jamaica, right? So we're going to Jamaica. So again, I don't know what your vision was. Everybody had an assignment, and my vision is going to be different from yours. You may not have Jamaica on yours. That is perfectly fine. You may have a business, you may have a house, you may have personal development. I don't know what it is. That was your assignment. And one thing that we have to learn when we're putting ourselves in a position to want to do something different. Doing something different means sometimes putting in the work, not sometimes, all the time. We have to put in the work to see what it is that we are looking to see. So again, we've been talking about vision, we've been talking about goals, your destination, and your GPS. Think of your vision as um, your GPS. What's your destination? Where are you going? What are you going to do? What are you trying to accomplish? Today, we're going to talk about preparation because if we're going to Jamaica, that's the vision, right? We got the goals. We know that we have to have a passport. We have to look and book flights. We have to know where we're staying. We have to think of our wardrobe. We have to, there's some things that we have to prepare to get ourselves ready. We have to put a budget together. We have to do some things to actually prepare. It is one thing to um, it's one thing to say, okay, this is the vision. It's another thing to say, okay, these are the things I have to do to get to that vision. These are the goals. And it's another to actually prepare for it. So we are missing steps. So this week, what we are doing is getting all the steps. I am giving it to you as I've given it to myself, as I've received it for myself, and as I have put some things in work. Because faith, it isn't just about saying, I'm going to Jamaica. So we talked about faith in this thing because everything that we do, it's going to be faith. Faith is going to be our foundation, right? So we're just not going to say we're going to Jamaica. Faith is saying, I'm going to Jamaica. I've checked my passport, I've booked my ticket, and I've packed my bags. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready for this thing. So I'm building this business. I've got my business plans. I've opened my accounts. I've made a list of everything that I need. I'm buying a house. I've worked on my credit. I put some things in place. I got a budget going. I got mindset going. So we are working on some things because guess what? We are going. I don't know where you're going, but I'm going to Jamaica. We cannot, we cannot walk into this next season not being prepared. See, some people wait to the beginning of the year, but I'm going to shift when I need to shift. Like we're not waiting when we know that there's some things that need to be done. Good morning, good morning, good morning, B. When we know there's some things that needs to be done, we're not waiting. Me and my sis, we jumped on the phone yesterday after the call because we decided yesterday. Well, I decided the day before that I was going to go to Jamaica. And guess what? I'm pulling her along with me because she up for it. She is up for it. So what did we do? We got on the phone and we just had a brief call. Okay, let's just start looking at some numbers. That's part of preparation because we know what we have to have. We know where we're going. So we just have to put it in place. Preparation is the bridge between believing and becoming. So when you believe something and then you start preparing for it, then you start becoming within that thing. So preparation is the bridge between believing and becoming. So if I told you to meet me in Jamaica next week, Lord, let it happen, Lord, bring it, Lord. I can wait till next year. If it's my planning and preparation, we're gonna do that thing last year. But if God say, if he come knock on sis door and say, hey, get your girls, we going to Jamaica. Y'all going to Jamaica next week. Y'all better have y'all bags ready. I don't want to hear no, I don't know. And I ain't got time because I don't care. I'm going to leave you. But anyway, that's not what we're talking about. But if I told you that we're going to meet me in Jamaica next week, the first thing you're going to do is ask, what do I need to bring? Preparation. You want to know what you need to bring. How much is a ticket? You got to know what it's going to cost you. What the weather like? How do you know what you're going to wear? That is planning. You have to start planning immediately. Just like with our goal, we may not be going to Jamaica next week, but to meet the goal and be sufficient in that thing, we have to start planning immediately. But many of us, we say we want, we want the life God promised us. So let's run it back. We want the life God promised us, but yet we hadn't even checked the cost. God has promised us some things, but there's some costs that we have to pay. We haven't checked the cost. We've not even been comfortable with cost. We still sitting over there like, God, are you here yet? Are you here yet? And he said, I'm waiting on you. I done already told you what the vision was. The vision was you're going to Jamaica. I've already told you, okay, these are the things that you're going to need to go to Jamaica. Now, what are you going to do? Are you going to put in the work? Because if I already gave it to you, I gave it to you. I gave you the vision. I gave you the knowledge and the wisdom to know what you need for the vision. Are you going to prepare for it? So what we're going to do, we preparing for the journey and we counting the costs and building the plan. That's what we've been working on the last 2 days. So again, Monday, we vision our journey. What was it that we desired to have? What is that thing? Mine is just Jamaica. So we rocking with Jamaica all week because that's just one of the things that's on my list. So to be realistic, I've just pulled some off my list. So we decided Monday we going to Jamaica. We decided on Tuesday that these are the things that we need to go to Jamaica. So the third day, what we finna do is go ahead and start preparing for that thing because we got somewhere we gotta be. And we want to be there on time. Luke 14:28 says, for which of you intend to build a tower does not first sit down and count the cost? We are treating our goals and our visions like, I don't know what y'all treating them like. I don't know what we treat them like, but we ain't treating them the way they need to be treated. Let's just say it that way. We are not allowing ourselves to count the cost. And sometimes we are counting the cost and we get scared, but that's not faith. Faith is we gonna see it before we see it, right? So if we're seeing it and the vision is there, then why we ain't gonna sit down and count the cost? If we're finna put together this tower, as Luke 14:28 said, we got to know what the material is. We got to know what the labor is. We got to know what the time, how much time it's going to take, because depending on how much time it's going to take, that's how much money we're going to need. All the things we have to prepare. We have to sit down and allow ourselves to not be fearful, but prepare for the things that we are designed to have. That means before you start building your vision, you have to understand what it requires. Remember, the weeks following this week, we've been talking about mindset. We've been removing some things from the mind so that we can allow ourselves to replace the things that we really desire to have. Sometimes we walk around and our mind is so crowded with what we can't do or what's not happening or who did what, so we're not allowing ourselves in the space to understand it is possible. None matter what it looked like yesterday. We're not talking about what didn't work yesterday. We're talking about today. So we have to be in the position of counting the cost. Counting the cost is not negative, it's wisdom. To put a plan in place, it's like, I used to hear a lot, and I don't know if people still say it, I'm just living for today. They ain't got no plans. No, nothing. They just literally waking up and whatever happened that day happens. They're going to spend all their money today because they don't know if they're going to be here tomorrow. Just all the things. I'm living for today. Well, I'm not just living for today. Now, I am going to be focused on today, but I am preparing for my tomorrows that's coming. That's just as simple as that. It's not saying what we can't do. So we're not going to focus on what we can't do. It's saying I'm going to be intentional about doing it right. In order to do it right, we got to put a plan in place. In order to get it right, we got to do some work. There's some costs that we have to calculate. So I want you to ask yourself this. What will this vision that you have require? What does it require of you? Does it require time? Because some things that we do is just require a little our time. Some things that we do, it's going to require some time and some energy. Like we got to go sweat in that thing, right? And then there's some things that we're going to do. It's going to cost for some sacrifice. We are going to have to put some things on hold for a minute so that we can focus. So we may have to, if we really want to go to Jamaica, I would rather go to Jamaica. So if I got asked to go to an event or what have you, it ain't Jamaica, just to go sit ha in that event. That event is going to be fun. I don't mind. I would love to be with the people or whatever, but I'm going to think of the cost. Like, am I willing to sacrifice and not pay this $50 for this and put this $50 over here into my I'm going to Jamaica account, right? Maybe, whatever that vision is that you have for yourself, it may require you to have less time on social media and more time sitting with yourself. Because sometimes we can be consumed in everybody else's life. When we're on social media, we study scrolling. We are being consumed with other people's life, and then we are forgetting about ours. Maybe it means waking up a little early. Y'all already know me. If you know me, you know me. I be up. Even though the mornings I don't want to be up, I'll be like, I don't want to get up. I'm like, well, you don't want, you really do want to get up, so I want to get up. So it means waking up a little early. It means saying no to some invitations. Like I said before, if we're going to be focused on this goal, this vision that we have, sometimes it's going to consist of us to spend some time, energy, sacrifice. We're going to have to put some things to the side. So again, I just want to take a moment just to reset the room. For you that know me and you that don't, I am Tawanda. I am Coach Tawanda. I am certified and called. I'm a best-selling author, and I am the podcast host of Talks with Tawanda, a space created, a safe space created to allow us to get from where we are to where we want to be, living the life that we desire, clearing our mind and our energy of things that no longer serve us, and allowing us to be able to live the life that we really deserve, a life of freedom, a life of joy, a life of purpose. And so that's what we do. So we have been talking this week about vision, and we are visioning our journey. So on Monday, we talked about what is a vision. We sat with ourselves to be intentional and say, this is what the vision is. This is what God has placed on my heart. This is the thing that keep nudging at me. This is the thing that won't let me go. And then yesterday we said, being that this thing won't let it keep on tapping on my shoulder. So what I'm going to do is, it's my vision. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go set some goals with it. I'm going to go put myself in a position and put goals. What is it that I need to have to accomplish the vision that I've set forth for myself? And today we're just preparing. We are preparing for the things that we know that we deserve to have, things that we really want to have. We are preparing. So again, what will this vision require from me? What would your vision require from you? That's the question you ask from yourself. Depending on what the vision is, what it is you desire, what will it require from you? Because if you go in thinking that it don't require anything, then you're not going to go in positioning yourself to put in the work that needs to be put in. So we need to know that. What do you need to learn? According to the vision that you have for yourself, according to the thing, whether it's a business, whether it's a bit in the house, whatever that thing is Jamaica for me. It's some things I'm going to need to learn. Now, I ain't going to learn a new language. I ain't just got time for that. But there are some things. Good morning, Gwen, Mama. There are some things that I'm going to have to learn. I'm going to need to learn about these flights. I'm going to need to learn about the location we're going, because we want to be safe. There are some things, even if it's small, there are some things that we're going to learn. So again, when we have our vision and then we have our goals, this come preparation. We have to prepare for it. So maybe it's a class that you need. Maybe it's some coaching, some mentoring, or just a video, something to help you understand the next step. So for me, I'm going to Jamaica. I don't know if y'all are going to Jamaica. Y'all tap a screen, show some love. If y'all going to go ahead, if your vision even came. Wait a minute, I had Jamaica on my list as well. Let's see how we going to get to Jamaica, because next year we will be going to Jamaica. Why? Because this year, today's the 12th, on the 10th, I decided that my vision was to go to Jamaica, because on the 10th, what we was doing was sitting down with ourselves and coming up, deciding what our vision was. What is it that we're going to work on? Yesterday, we sat and we put some goals to it. We decided that this is what it's going to take to get what we want. And today, we are just preparing. So if I am not going to go to Jamaica today, I have a whole year. There's no way I'm not able to put the money together, to put the resources together, to put the planning together in a whole year to get what I want. It can be a business. It can be a new house. It can be relocated. It can be whatever you want. What you want and what I want is different. It's different. Now, we may want to go to Jamaica, but we both may want to go to Jamaica, and our dates are still going to be different, meaning that it's going to be a different set there's going to be a different set of preparation that each one of us will have to have, because it's still different, unless we are deciding to go together. If y'all gonna go with me to Jamaica, you might want to go ahead and say I'm in, because next year I'm going to Jamaica, and I'm going to show us how to get to Jamaica without the stress of what, the stress or the worry or the fear of what we can't do. This is a season where we are going to step out of telling ourselves what we can't do, understanding that all things are possible. All you have to do is trust that the vision that's been given to you has been given from God. And once God has given you the vision and has given you the tools, then all you have to do is use the tools and prepare. That's all we're doing. That's it. That's all. So what do you need to learn? If it's a business, if it's a new course, if it's a certification, there are some things that you're going to have to need. If that's your vision, what do you need to learn? And then what distractions do you need to let go of? That's going to be another. What distractions do you need to let go of? Not everything that God had that's good is aligned. Not everything that is good is aligned. And sometimes, we can be having fun. Like, I like hanging out. I'm lying, not all the time, y'all. I love being at home, but I had those moments where I do like being in the crowd of people or what have you. But there are some places that I'm just not going to be able to go because it's not aligned with what I'm trying to do. So if I have to sacrifice some things, it is okay to sacrifice some things to get the greater things. Sometimes we want to hold on to all the things, but not all the things are meant to go with us. So if we're wanting to write a book, when I decided to write a book, the vision was to write a book. The preparation, these are what I needed. I needed to know, how do I self-publish a book? I needed to know, how do I format? How do I get the book cover? How do I get the things that I need to write the book? Hey, I've written several books. I think I'm a low-key pro at this thing now. Not only have I written the books, but I also have the ability to edit the books. And then I am a self-published author. All those things I learned because, again, the vision was to write a book. So I needed to know the step, and I had to count the cost. There were some moments that I couldn't pick up my phone and hee ha ha with my friends. I needed to put some time in place. I don't care if it was an hour. I had to lock in because it was something that I wanted. So what distractions do you need to let go of so that you can align your goal with your vision? What is it? Some of us are carrying people's habits and mindset that can't come with us to the next level. We have to be in position. Remember, a few weeks ago, we had talked about distractions. We had talked about aligning ourselves. We talked about standing in the line waiting for our name to be called. So we waiting in the line for our name to be called and saying our ticket to our trip to Jamaica is ready. In this line, there's going to come some distraction. There's going to be some waiting. There's going to be some time. There's going to be some things that we're going to have to put in place. Are we prepared to count the cost? I'm just talking about Jamaica, y'all, because again, that's just one of my things. So I'm just focusing on Jamaica. Get somebody all excited, didn't think they can go to Jamaica, didn't even think it was possible, whatever. I'm letting you know that it is. You can't take a vacation baggage to a spiritual flight. Some things have to stay behind. You can't take some things if it's ain't nobody in my family ever went to Jamaica. So that's not true. I mean, some of my family members have been. I could have went, didn't go. That was just, but I'm gonna go. I wanted to go on my own time. Things was different, But however, that's not what we're talking about. There are some things and some people you might have to step away from in this season to allow yourself to be focused on what it is that you really desire to have. It's just as simple as that. We're just saying Jamaica because that's just one of the visions, but yours is something different. Is it mindset? Is it a new career? Is it a new certification? Is it a job? Is it becoming an author? Is it building a business? Is it buying a house? Is it relocating? What is it that God is speaking to your heart? What vision is it that you have? Is it starting a nonprofit? What is it that you have that's been speaking to your heart, that's been tugging at you, keeping you up at night and waking you up early in the morning with the thoughts on the mind? What is that thing? We talked about it Monday. What is the vision? Tuesday, we talked about what are the goals. Today, we are talking about putting that thing to work. So imagine planning the trip to Jamaica, but trying to bring the whole closet with you. We're not even going to take us. Y'all know them check bags be a mess, honey. Them folks, I have to be careful because I'm just going to be honest, baby. I got big feet. I wear size 13 shoes, so I got to be careful with my baggage. I have to be careful with what I'm packing because you go put all them shoes up in a carry-on. I mean, check bag, baby. They gonna want to tax me. So I ain't gonna take the whole closet. I ain't gonna take the whole shoe collection and all those things. I'm gonna decide I'm gonna go on for 5 days, 5 to 7 days is all I'm going. And when I'm going for those days, I'm going to prepare by knowing what it is that I want. I'm not gonna take the whole closet with me. I don't want that extra cost. Sometimes we are trying to take people with us on this journey that we're on, and man, it's going to cost us more than what we was aiming for. It's going to cost us our peace. It's going to cost us some time. It's going to cost us to be distracted. It's going to cost us to doubt. It's going to cost us to be in a position to where we are not doing and getting what it is that we really desire to have because we got too much with us. We taking the wrong people with us. We taking the wrong things with us. We have to be in position to be okay with just imagining, planning this journey and planning it with intentions. Some things are not going to be meant to take with us. And in that same, it's the same with purpose. The more unnecessary baggage we carry, the higher the emotional cost. The more stuff that we try to put in those bags to take on that plane, the higher that ticket gonna cost, because now we got those check bags. And I can't remember the cost, but they cost. They cost a little extra. I think over 40 pounds, 45 pounds, 45, 50 pounds is about extra $30, $40. Who got that? Who got that? Sometimes we are taking unnecessary baggage with us. We taking stress with us. We taking worry with us. We taking lack of faith with us. We are taking all the thoughts of what we ain't got, what did happen, what didn't happen, who did it, who didn't do it. All those things, that's baggage. We're not going to take that with us. We are going to leave that where it is because it's going to cost us more than what we are looking for. It's going to cost us more. We ain't trying to pay more. We just trying to plan and prepare for what we need. We ain't trying to be stressed out doing it. We're not going to Jamaica stressed out. Preparation means discipline. If you discipline now, you have freedom later. Baby, let me tell you, I've been having to be disciplined to go in that little room. It ain't no big major workout, but I am being intentional by going in that room and working out every morning at least 20 minutes. It may not be a lot. I'm not doing no whole sweating. Y'all ain't finna see me doing all the things, trying to get all buff, but I am going to stay intentional by being in the room. And now if I discipline myself to stay in the room every morning, then there's going to be freedom. There's going to be freedom in the mindset of me knowing that, hey, I've accomplished the goal by getting down some weight or building my muscles or whatever it is I'm in there doing. Some days I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just doing it. You might sacrifice comfort for this season. There may be some things you want to do in this season that it don't mean you cannot do it. It just means that in this season, you may want to wait, and you have to be okay. Are you okay with saying in this season? So in this season, I just want to go and I want to spend all the money doing all the things that I want to do. Well, if you discipline yourself in this season and say, you know what, I'm going to be strategic about the money that I'm spending. I'm going to be mindful about what I'm doing. I'm going to steward over that which is given to me so that I don't allow myself to be distracted. That is a sacrifice. We're going to sacrifice, but that's how we build capacity. We build capacity by sacrificing something. There is just some things that in this season, we're going to have to just let go of. The thing about it, don't force yourself to do. You got to be okay with it, because if you're not okay with it, if you're not okay in understanding that it's part of the cost, then you're going to be discouraged. You're going to be angry. You're going to be bitter, and all these things that come up because you feel like you just had to let go of something. Well, it ain't letting go for the rest of the days. It's just letting go for this season. In this season right now, it is not conducive to the vision and the goals that we have. So once you have counted the cost, it's time to create a structure, your action plan. God bless his order. I ain't know it till I know it, but he blesses order. He's a God of strategy, not confusion. So when we're sitting in a space, and we're so confused about what it is we should be doing, what we ain't doing, who we should, go ahead and take it to the feet of God, because he is not a God of confusion. And if he is who gave us the vision, let's run it back to him. God, this is the vision that you gave me. These are the goals that you gave me. Help me to prepare it so that when I prepare it and it does what it needs to do. Proverbs 21:5 says, the plan of the diligent leads surely to abundance. So planning is spiritual, y'all. That thing is in the book. It is in the book that we should be planning. It's not control, it's stewardship. Sometimes, depending on how our mind works, when we have to be in a place of I stuttered, right? When we have to be in the place of discipline, we have to be in the place of planning, when we have to be in the place of sacrifice, it can seem like we just getting rid of stuff. Good morning, Helen. It seems like we throwing stuff away. It seems like we're tearing stuff down, but no, it's stewardship. It's not control, it's stewardship. So this is a season for us to steward that in which God has given us. And if He given us the vision, we have to steward that thing. So how do we build a plan? Again, just to reset the room, I am Coach Tawanda. I am a personal and goals development coach, certified and called. I am a best-selling author, and I am a podcast host of Talks with the Tawanda. I'm stuttering. A Talks with Tawanda, a space created, a safe space for healing, growth, and just allowing us to be in a space to understand where we are is not where we're destined to be. So we're going to get from where we are to where we want to be by allowing ourselves to sit in the space and sit in faith and sit in deservance. This is our season of receiving. So on Monday, we talked about vision. This week, we're just visioning our journey. So on Monday, we talked about vision. What was the vision? What is that thing that's been tugging at your heart that you want to pursue? It just won't leave you alone. It just keep popping up. I don't care how your days go, all the things that come and all the things you got on your list, but it just keep popping up. What is that thing? Good morning, KK. What is that thing that keep popping up? Is it a business? Is it an organization? Is it writing a book? Is it moving? Is it, what is that thing that we are wanting in life that keep popping up? That's the vision. On yesterday, we talked about the goals. Okay, this is a vision. This is what I want. And these are the goals. This is what it's going to take to get it. And today we're preparing. We are talking about Jamaica because Jamaica was one of my visions. I visioned myself being in Jamaica. So on Monday, one of my goals or one of my visions was Jamaica. And on Tuesday, I started writing down what it's going to take, how much money I want to budget out for Jamaica, and all the things. So I started preparing. Me and my sis, we started looking and trying to check the flights to at least get an idea of what the flight's going to cost around that time so that we can put a plan in place, because that's what we're doing. We're going to Jamaica. So how do we build your plan? Break your vision down into steps. You've heard me mention on previous talks, I have boards a little bit everywhere. I have boards in my bedroom, boards in my office. I have boards in my in my little sitting room. I have boards, and these boards, what they do, they help me with staying focused with what it is that I'm looking to do. So I'm going to Jamaica. Jamaica is on my board. I have 5-year goals. I have 3-year goals. I have 1-year goals. I have 6-month goals. I am always working on something. If it falls into my heart, then you're going to get me on deck. I'm working on it. So how do we build a plan? Break your vision down into steps. The reason I have 5 years, the 3, 1, 6 months goals, they're all tied to the 5-year, but I've broken them down in steps so that I can achieve them, without the stress, right? So we talked about how to set the goals or knowing what it is that we need to do. So we're going to build a plan, write out what's needed to happen first. What needs. So we're going to Jamaica. We know we need flights. We know we need rooms. We know we need to, how much money we want to spend, what we're going to be wearing, what the weather is like, what time of year is the best year for us to go. That was something that we had to look at. So we had to start, if you need a passport, we have a passport. That's one thing off our list, thank goodness. But if you don't have it, that's something that's easy to put on your list. What is it? You're going to have to take time off from work. There is some things in preparation. You're going to need your date. There is some things that's going to need to happen first. What are those things we talked about yesterday? We know what we need. So now that we know what we need, what we're going to write out, okay, how do we get there? So if we need a passport, we need to be writing out, okay, I need a passport. It's going to cost this much. This is where I go. Let me go ahead and set a date, or let me go ahead and set a plan. If I need a passport, it costs this. I don't want to spend it right now. Let me give myself, 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, I can go get my passport, or it may be a month. So let me set it in 30 days. Let me go ahead and set the appointment. And between here and here, I'm going to go ahead and be putting the money to the side so that I can get the passport. That's one thing off the list. We already know what it's going to cost us as far as the flights and things of that nature. Just having that roundabout, because you're probably going to watch the flights a little bit before you actually buy, and that's fine. So before you launch that business, maybe you need to research your niche a little bit. You need to register your name. What about a business plan? A business plan will actually help you be able to map out everything you're going to need for this business. What do you need? What are the steps? You're going to do some research. Before you move, maybe you need to save 3 months of rent. You want to move, and you there's some things. If you're gonna move to another city, go ahead and start seeing what city you gonna live, where you gonna move to, what area you want to stay in, what type of environment you want, what is it you're going there for, what are you trying to accomplish. So you want to know these things, so when you get there, you're not surprised. When you get there, you can hit the flow and just start, go ahead and start running. So we want to break your vision down into steps. What is it that you need? And then you're going to list your resources. What do I already have on hand? I already have a passport. All right. So if I already have a passport, that's one thing. I know what I need, so I can just go ahead and mark passport off because I already got that. You know, if you need a business, if you already got a business plan, good morning, Miss V. If you already got a business plan, okay, mark that off the list. What do you already have? List the resources that you already have on hands. That's going to make your process a little bit easier. You know, what tools, talents, or relationships can help you move forward. So if you're looking for a business, or you're building a business, even with the building a business, you got the SBA. SBA have mentorship. So if there are things that you need, business relationships that you want to build, or, you know, credit that you need, it's what do you need? List the resources. If it's trying to buy a house, you might need some realtors. So you need to make friends with some realtors, because realtors are going to help you find the property that you need. You may need some loan officers. Usually the realtors have loan officers and things of nature that kind of knocks out a step for you. So if it's moving to another state, you got to, what you going to need. If it's building a business, what you going to need. If it's writing a book, what you going to need. If it ain't moving to another state and just moving into a new apartment, or, you know, relocating into, buying a house or whatever, what is it that you need? What relationships that you need? What resources and talents and tools will you need to get this thing done? Don't overlook the small beginnings. Sometimes we overlook those things. Don't overlook the small, the little small steps. Excuse me, sometimes we have the resources at our fingertips, but they be looking so small, so we don't think that we can do it. Okay, you want to build a business, you ain't got no computer right now. Okay, use your phone. You can actually go to Google Docs and have Google Docs and take all your information that you need, go to Chat GBT or whatever, and let them put a plan onto it. Take that, transfer it to Google Docs. Heck, when you get your computer, all that information will still be with you. We are limiting ourselves, thinking that we don't have enough. You got a notebook? Everybody, we got kids, we got, anybody can come up with a notebook. If you ain't got a notebook, holler at me. I can get you a notebook, because even if you had a notebook, what about community? Look at the people that you have around you. Look, if they ain't in your circle, okay, go find them. SBA, if it's starting a business, realtors, if it's buying a house, coaches, if it's needing personal development, mentors, if it's need personal development, whatever it is that you're needing to help you get to what you need, that's what you're going to do. You're going to write down, make a list of your resources, create accountability. So when I got off the phone yesterday, one of the first things I did is place the phone call, because I know, if don't nobody else know, all I gotta do is call this special person, baby, and I love her to death, because if she ain't gonna do nothing else, she's gonna be ready for a travel. So for accountability, I know that if I go ahead and reach out to her and we're on this thing together, we're going to keep each other accountable. So we was already mapping out a plan, and I know working with her is going to help me. That's my community. That's my community in going to and getting to Jamaica, because I know she is way better planner than me. I know that having her and going with her, we're going to enjoy, because she's going to make sure everything is taken care of. And all I'm going to have to do is just, try to be involved in the planning. But I do say yes. I say yes to it, and I be ready with the money and stuff. But sometimes it takes me a little longer to look up things and stuff like that. But that ain't why we're here. That ain't what we're talking about. That ain't what we're talking about. But I know that she's going to hold me accountable to doing what needs to be done. She's going to be checking in with me. We're going to be checking in with each other. We're going to be checking and see, from flights to money putting up, what we going to need and all the things. A vision without accountability becomes a wish. Because even if we don't have a person, it's our vision. We have to be in position to want to hold ourselves accountable. So if I want to go to Jamaica, now what if sis just decide, yeah, it's not a good time for me, I'm not going to be able to go. Do I just forget about my vision? No, I still want to go to it's my vision. I still want to go to Jamaica, right? So I'm still gonna have to prepare. I'm still gonna have to plan. I'm still gonna have to hold myself accountable. She can't babysit me saving my money. Now she could check in, hey T, how's it going? That's all she need to be doing, checking in. How's it going? And I can be like, girl, it's going. We got this thing together. I see it moving. But she shouldn't be calling me talking about, hey, did you put $50 up this week? Hey, did you? No, no, no. That's your responsibility. That's my responsibility. And so tell someone your plan. She knows the plan. Everybody don't need to know your plan. So that's where discernment come in at. That's where you got to look at your circle and determine who's in your circle for you and who's in your circle against you. Because there's somebody that's going to pop out and be like, girl, now you know you ain't going to be able to do that. You know you got this and that going on and how this going to work and how that. It's none of your business. That's not a person you tell. You need to tell the one that's going, that's going to rock with you. That's going to hold you accountable. That's going to boost you up and that's going to give you the motivation. But if you don't have that person, you better stand up and be that person for yourself. You better go grab you a mirror and say, I don't care who believe in me. I'm going to write this book because I know this book need to be written. I don't care who's rocking with me, but I'm going to start this business. It don't matter what anybody think. You cannot think it's a good idea, but I think it's a good idea. I know what me and God talked about, so I'm going to push forward. So we have to be mindful of who we tell our plan to. Everybody ain't gonna be with us, y'all. Everybody ain't gonna be with us. Go ahead and expect that. Put that in your plan. Everybody ain't gonna be with us, but there will be someone. You can hold the expectations that there will be someone that's gonna hold you to it. All you need is one person. You don't need to go talking to auntie, mama, cousin, sister, them trying to get everybody on board with what it is that God has called you to do. All you need is one and say, I just need this journey that I'm on is going to take a little bit from it. I just need somebody to hold me accountable. I need somebody to just stand in the gap and keep me motivated, keep me covered in prayer or whatever it is that thing needs. That's what it is. So we have to be in position to create that space. So if we're going to Jamaica, who going to Jamaica with me? I'm going to Jamaica. Are you going to Jamaica? Because what we've been doing is planning our trip to Jamaica. So if we're going to Jamaica, is launching a journal business part of going to Jamaica? It could be. And I said that wrong. We're going to Jamaica. Your Jamaica could be buying a house. Your Jamaica could be good morning, Calandra. Your Jamaica could be writing a book. Your Jamaica could be starting a business. Your Jamaica can be starting a podcast. Your Jamaica can be, what is your Jamaica? What does the plan look like for your Jamaica? Jamaica for me is Jamaica. Y'all, we going to Jamaica. If you're going to Jamaica, just say, I'm in. All I'm doing is walking you through one of my visions. So Monday, we vision our journey. We decided on Monday what it is that we wanted to do. You decided what you want to do. I decided one of my things was going to Jamaica. On yesterday, we put goals together. We decided these are the things that we're going to need to actually go to Jamaica. I don't know what your Jamaica was, but my Jamaica was my Jamaica. And then we started the research. Yesterday, when I got offline, I made that phone call. I need to know what the flight's going to look like. So what I did, okay, I already know that I need me about $600 for flights. I already know that I'm going to need me about $1,500 for accommodations or whatever the case may be, right? So me knowing and getting these numbers together, it helps me out. I'm going next year. I have enough time. It don't matter what it looks like today. You may not know the publisher today, but that don't mean don't write the book. Still write the book. By the time you finish writing the book, you're going to be the meta publisher. And if you don't meet a publisher, there are many resources to show you how to publish yourself. All I'm saying is, do it. Your credit may not be where you wanted to be to buy this house. It's okay. Go ahead and start preparing. What do you need to work on? What do you need to do? It's all about preparing. What does the plan look like? So when we going to research? If it's a journal, just research. What's your print option? Amazon, you can go to Amazon and set it up for free. It is things out there, but you wouldn't know that unless you actually put in the work to research. So it's today all we're doing is planning, and we are planning for that trip to Jamaica. My Jamaica is my Jamaica. Your Jamaica could be writing a book, building a business, buying a house, relocating, or whatever that thing gives, personal development. And then we're gonna create a sample cover. If your Jamaica is launching a journal business, we're gonna just create some samples. What vision? What do you want it to look like when you see this thing? What do you want it to look like? When I see Jamaica, I see a few less pounds. I see some oily legs. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. Don't judge me. I see what I see. I see some big muscular men. Lord have mercy. They ain't one of my husbands, but they fine, baby. I be seeing them. And I'm just don't judge me, because this is my trip, and I gonna see the way I'm gonna see it. Just like this, your business, you gonna see it the way you gonna see it. Set a pre-date order. When are you gonna release this book? I'm going to from the research that we gathered yesterday, the best times to go to Jamaica is between mid November, mid January. I mean mid December, mid November, mid December. So we've already started narrowing down our plates. I mean our dates right here. I actually got little notes right here because we was doing it yesterday, right? So you want to set a date. What's the structure? What's the strategy? That's stewardship. When we put ourselves in a position to make plans, when we put ourselves in a position to be intentional, it's just all a part of strategy. Preparation isn't waiting. Sometimes we sitting around here, we waiting. We just said, God, bless me to write a book. And then here we go. We just sit here like this. We thinking the pages on them books is just going to appear by ourselves, but you got the story. You have to write the book. You have to do the work. Oh, God, bless me with a business. You said you will bless me. You'll bless the land. Yeah, I'll bless you with a business, but there's going to be some work that you have to do. There's going to be business plan or whatever it is that you're needing to do to prepare. Again, let me just take a moment to reset the room. I am Tawanda. I am a certified and called personal development and goals coach. I am a best-selling author, and I am the podcast host of Talks with Tawanda, a space created for safety, a space created for accountability, a space created to allow us to get from where we are to where we're desiring to be. This is our season to move in purpose. This is our season to move with intentions. This is our purpose, our season to be purposeful about what it is that we are doing. It is okay. All you got to do first is vision it. And then next thing you got to do is put some goals with it. And then when you put those goals with it, all you got to do is start preparation. Those are 3 steps. Yes, we got to count the cost because it's going to take us to do some things. God is only able to multiply what we've started. So if we want him to build on something or do something or show up, how we want him to show up when we sitting with our hands like this? We ain't done nothing. We want the garden, but we ain't even bought the seeds. We want a business, but we ain't even wrote the business plan. We want a book, but we ain't even wrote a first page. We ain't even come up with a title. There is some work that we are going to have to do. So don't sit back thinking, even when doing a vision board, don't sit back thinking you finna put all these pretty pictures on the wall or on the board and everything just going to start floating in place. No, there is some work that we're going to have to do. Faith without work is dead. Some people say, I'm waiting on God. I'm waiting on God. But sometimes God is sitting over there in the cut like, no, baby, I'm waiting on you. Because I've given you the vision. I've even given you the tools that will be needed. I need you to put some action behind it. Faith is not, it isn't just feeling, it's movement. You have to move. You have to move. When you prepare, heaven responds. I don't know about y'all, but I've seen some things. I'm just going to be honest. Yesterday, I was sitting, and as a coach, one of the things that I do is workshops or what have you. Now, I had had conversations with Habitat. They had been wanting me to do a workshop there, but it was going to be a community workshop, right? So, and we put that on to January or whatever. So yesterday, I was sitting and I was preparing some things, and I went to take me a little nap. And when I took me a nap, in the midst of taking a nap, my phone rang. And there were some things that I had been talking to God about or what have you to show up this week, right? And I think he sent me to take a nap so he could do what he needed to do, because other than that, I'd be over here worried. I had did all I needed to do, right? And so I get a phone call, and the phone call was from Habitat. The administrator from Habitat, and she's like, "Hey, Tawanda." I was like, "Hey, girl, hey." And she said, "Hey, listen, how much do you charge for the workshops? We want to do a workshop next Thursday for, for Habitat or whatever, yada, 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 whoop, whoop." Well, before that call was placed, it's been weeks. What I had been doing is preparing. I had been preparing my heart and mind to even get calls from business so that I can show up, because I am restructuring how I do things. I have been creating workshops for a while now, and I go all out. It is a lot, food, everything, all the things. But I was transitioning. It is a season for me to transition. There was a reason I was doing the workshops the way I was doing them and how I was doing them. But in this season, it's transitioning, right? And so in part of my transition, I got to prepare for things a little bit different. And in preparing for things a little bit different, things are going to start showing up. So my vision was to start doing workshops for business. And this year, this will be the third one that called me this year. And every time I've got intentional about reaching out, got intentional about writing down and praying and keeping that thing in the forefront, then something happens. So I do something, then God do something. That's just how it is. So when you act like it's already yours, God start aligning people, resources, and timing. I remember last year when I was doing the women's retreat here, it was beautiful. It was lovely. And I remember before I had the vision, I knew what I wanted. Had started writing down. I knew what I was going to have for food, kind of had it planned out. And then I remember going, and I was at a store. One of the things that I was looking for that I said I wanted to have, which we did not use, but I had them, right, was some yoga mats. So I was looking, and I was, looking online and things of that nature. Well, then I went to the store. It was a store here that I went to, actually over there in Scottsboro. I walk in and hadn't been to this store in forever. I just so happened my aunt called me and said, "Hey, ride up here such with me." So I rode. Y'all, when I get in there and walk through the store a little bit, guess what I found? 17 yoga mats for $1. Now I'm looking online and I'm seeing them for like $15, and I'm trying to find them as least expensive as possible, because that also keep the cost and things down for the retreat, right? And so, but because I had started preparing, I had a vision. I knew I needed these things before anybody. And then there was another thing. So we're in the store, and I'm finna get them. And I was like, "Oh, I really need to get them." I said, "But I haven't had one person yet to actually even buy a ticket yet. So I don't want to just be spending all my money and waiting." But even my aunt said, she said, do it on faith. I said, "All right, my money kind of small, but I'm going to do it." I bought what was needed to be bought from the workshop. As I'm walking out the door of the store, I get a notification and a phone call. A payment has been made. A registration had been taken place. You have to make a move. You move, God move. You move, God move. What we're waiting on is for God to move, and we move. But there are some situations and some moments that we're going to have to make a move. Had I not, it's not to say that had I not made that faith purchase at that moment, that registration wouldn't have came through. But I don't care to know. All I know is I was in obedience. I did what I needed to do, and God did what he needed to do on his end. All I'm saying is, when you prepare, heaven gonna start responding on your behalf. That's why everything is grounded in faith. I'm not gonna move and if faith ain't connected to it. Think about Noah. He didn't wait for the rain to start building the ark. God sent him out there to build the ark before the rain actually came. He started building because he believed. And so some of us, God is calling us to do certain things, but we don't see the storm, so we ain't putting on the raincoat yet. No, if it hits your heart, go ahead and at least take it on out the door, because you never know when the storm is gonna come. He started believing because He started building because he was believing. So we're going to believe what it is that we're looking to achieve, and we are going to start planning. We don't know where the money is going to come from for Jamaica. We don't know where the money is and the resources is going to come from for the business. It don't matter, but there are some steps that we need to take, and this is the season that we just going to take them, because that's faith plus work. It's faith plus work. I'm sorry, there go them TikToks. Let's battle. We're gonna do y'all in a minute because I'm almost wrapping this thing up. Um, Preparation says, I believe what you told me, Lord, even before I see it. When I left here to move to Texas, I ain't know nothing about Texas. I ain't know how I was going to turn out, what was going to be done, how it was going to be done, or anything else. I knew nobody in Texas for real, until I realized I did know somebody in Texas, but I didn't even have a vision knowing somebody in Texas. I had to prepare before I even, I had to prepare for what I didn't know. Actually, one of my tattoos is Corinthians 5:7, for we walk by faith, not by sight, because I knew the season in which I was walking into. I didn't know what was going to go on. I didn't know what was going to happen, but those were the best years of my life. It was some things that took place in that time that I did not like, that hurt my feelings, broke my heart, and all those things, but it do not take away from the fact of it was the best season in life because it taught me something. Preparation says, I believe what you told me, God. It ain't happened yet, but I believe it. It ain't happened yet that the tickets are already booked to Jamaica, but I believe that I'm going to Jamaica. So that's what I'm going to stand for. Safe said God will do it. Yes, I am going to partner with God. Remember a couple of weeks ago, we was talking about partnering. We're going to have to partner with God on everything we do, whether it looks small or big. But I had made a determination that I was going to partner with God. Even on my trip to Jamaica, I am going to partner with God because I am trusting that for the relaxation, for me to relax, for me to have a good time, for me to be able to enjoy the things I'm looking to enjoy, I am trusting that God is going to lead me in that space. So with that, I'm not going to say he ain't going to give me the vision to go to Jamaica. And I'm saying, okay, God, I got the rest now, God, because I need you to come through with this thing. I'm just saying, preparation says I'll be ready when he does. Remember, a few weeks ago, too, we were standing in the line. We are standing in the line waiting for our name to be called. And what did God tell us? Y'all remember, go back and look at it if you didn't look at it. But while we're waiting in the line for our name to be called, then we went to the Bible, and the Bible told us, God, what should we be doing while we wait? Prepare our hearts. That seems easy, right? That means we need to work on self. So we need to keep our mindset. So in those moments of disbelief, in those moments where we're kind of wait, like maybe this ain't gonna happen because it ain't happened before. No, we need to keep our mind steadfast on the promise that was made. If the vision was placed in your mind and in your heart, then trust that he's gonna see you through it. But you just got to do your part. I'm just saying. So your assignment today. Your assignment Monday was to write down your vision. What is it that you see yourself doing within the next year? Just go with the next year. I've been doing this for a while, so I'll be out 5 years out because sometimes it's just too big and I don't want to make it a short time because, again, we're using the SMART goal method. We talked about that on yesterday. But Monday, we decided what our vision was. Tuesday, we put some goals to it. These are some things that we will need in order to get there. And then today, we're going to prepare for it. So we know what we need. So it's just like a meal, Thanksgiving, Christmas coming up. Who's going to be in the kitchen cooking? Not me. I'll do a little dessert somewhere and take it somewhere. I hope somebody else got the meal. But you know what you're going to cook. That's your vision. Beans, greens. I'm just playing. That's your vision. So you know what you're going to cook. And then the goal is to have these items. So then you have to go and you got your list of the items that you need. And then preparation. Part of preparation is one, going to the store. Once you go to the store, then you're going to come out and then you're going to lay all your stuff out, make sure your kitchen and stuff clean. And then you're going to start working on your meal. And then once that's preparation, right? So the vision is you knowing what greens, I be trying to do it. Greens, beans, potatoes, all them things y'all gonna have. That's your vision. Your vision is the meal. You know that you're gonna prepare a meal. The goal is, okay, I'm gonna prepare a meal, and this is what I need for this meal. Preparation says I'm gonna go and I'm gonna get these things because that's preparing me for the meal. It's simple. Write down 3 things your vision will require. Will it require time, money, education, or discipline? What is it that your goal, your vision will require? What is going to require? What do it need from you? Create a small plan for each one of them. So again, we're going to Jamaica. I have a passport. I'm gonna knock that out. But what if you don't have a passport? If you don't have a passport, that's one of the things that you need. One of the, it may seem like a lot, but it's very simple to go get. So if creating if doing a passport is one of the things that you're gonna need, you're gonna make a small plan. It's a lot of things that you can do to go ahead and prepare. But okay, you're gonna go ahead and set the date to go get your passport. You know how much you need. You're gonna put a few. So you ain't gotta do it out of one check, and maybe you can go do it out of one check. But if you break that up, if it's $150, put $25 up a week until you get it. And then by then, if you say, okay, in these next 4 weeks, I'm gonna put, $50 up a week for my passport. Anything you got left over, just put it in your Jamaica account. But if Jamaica is one of the things, passport is one of the things, looking at flights to just get an idea, looking at where you want to go, just all those things, right? Pray over your plan and ask God to bless your steps. That's 3. So you're going to write down 3 things your vision requires, whether it's time, money, education, or discipline. Then you're going to create a small plan for each of them. So there's something small that you're going to have to do or that you need to do to go ahead and start activating the vision and putting the plan together, preparations, all those things. But we ain't just going to stop there. We're going to pray over that thing. I'm going to pray over going to Jamaica because I want to pray for safety. I want to pray for everything to be done, flights and all, money coming in. I want Jamaica trip, and really, I don't even really want to pay for it. Like, I want blessings to just flow in, checks in the mail. I get a whole lot of checks in the mail. Like, God bless me with a husband, and that mean it ain't gonna be within a year because I ain't gonna get married within a year. Let me not fool myself, but bless me with that man to come through and pay for it. But if he don't come, y'all, I got this. I'm just saying, but I'm gonna pray over it. We don't know how these prayers gonna end up, but I'm trusting the word that I put to the heavens are gonna be heard and it's gonna be received. I'm just saying, preparation is proof of faith. If we believe in the thing that we're looking to achieve, we got to have faith in that. And if we have faith in it, we're going to start moving as if it's already ours. So being that I already in my mind, whether I have it all or not, I am preparing myself for Jamaica. It don't matter if I don't have all the money and all the details and all the plans. And sometimes we want to then we have a vision and we think we got to know everything. Quit being nosy. Quit being so nosy till we got to focus on all the parts instead of focusing on where we are. Break those things down into small steps so we can do. Sometimes we want to know all the steps before we make a move. Sometimes we want to know, okay, well, we going to Jamaica. Well, God, you got to tell me how this money going to come. Well, I'm not concerned about how he going to bring the money. I just know according to his will, the money's going to come. I'm just saying it's the business, it's the book, it's the house, whatever it is. Everything from my house, from my business, from relocating, from my books, from my coaching, from my podcast, everything I had, it started with a vision. That vision turned into goals. That goals turned into preparation. That preparation turned into me having those things I desired to have, but I didn't do it without standing on faith. I didn't do it without standing on God's word. I didn't do it without meeting him in the closet so that I'm able to understand that this is the directions that he would have me to go. I'm just saying, we have to have it, y'all. We have to prepare. Today is about preparing for those that know me, those that don't. I am Tawanda. I am Coach Tawanda. I'm a certified and called personal development and goals coach. I'm a best-selling author, and I am the podcast host of Tawanda Talks with Tawanda. You can catch me on Spotify or YouTube, a space where I create for coaching, a safe space to help us get from where we are to where we're looking to be. So again, in closing, your assignment for today is write down 3 things your vision will require. Create a small plan for each one of them. It's going to, we already went through it. I ain't got to elaborate on it. And pray over it, plan. Pray over it and invite God to partner with you. I don't care how big or how small. Invite him in to partner with you. Because when you start getting ready, when you start declaring, when you start standing on faith, when you start believing that God is going to show up on your behalf because he said he is, believe that it's your season, guess what? Things are going to start taking place. I love you. Have a good day at school. I will see you this evening. Tomorrow, y'all. So since Monday, we know what our vision is. Tuesday, we know what our goals are. Um, Today's Wednesday. We are in preparation, so we are preparing. Let me reset this. We are preparing, and tomorrow we go into faith in actions. We gonna put faith in actions. We're gonna actually move and make some steps. So we gonna be back at this thing again. And sometimes it's gonna seem as if it's all the same, but it ain't nothing difficult. Like we're and once you do it for Jamaica, then you're gonna go do it for that business. Then you're gonna go do it for that house. Every time it's something that God has placed on your heart, a vision that He has placed in your mind. What you are going to do is you're gonna put a plan to it. You're gonna put it in a GPS and you're gonna get to where you need to go, understanding that there is some work to do. We got to do some things. Stop sitting around thinking that just because it popped to mind, that's just it. Be okay with counting the cost. It's going to cost you some time. Building a business, baby, if you ain't ready to lose some sleep, then you may really want to, regroup on some things, because you're going to lose some sleep. You're going to even lose some friends. You're going to lose some opportunities you're going to have to walk away from because it's just not aligned to where you're going. That's counting the cost. You gonna have to put a little money to the side. You may have to sacrifice and not go splurging on new Jordans or whatever so you can build a business. We got to look at what's around us. We around here talking about we can't do stuff, and then we got a lot of stuff around us that we spending our time and money on that we don't even need. I'm not in your business. It ain't got nothing to do with you. It's talking about me. See, I'm accountable, and I know there's been moments that I've spent in area or spent time, money, and energy in areas that wasn't conducive to where I was going. It wasn't conducive to the vision, to the goal. So I had to regroup, and I had to be intentional, and I had to be disciplined, because the discipline I have now will allow me to seek the reward that I look to receive in the future. I am going to Jamaica, but even when the flights get bumpy, even when the road, remember we was talking about sometimes we on that road trip, we trying to do that business, we trying to do, better that life. And then those obstacles come, those roadblocks come. You got to make a U-turn, then traffic all backed up because you got an accident over here. And then you got folks that ain't even in the accident. Everybody want to see what's going on. So then the traffic going slow, then you getting all worried. Then, you going to miss your flight and all those things. But in that moment, it is a moment for us to stay calm and understanding that we are on the journey. And in the journey that we are on, we are allowing ourselves to travel, partner with God. And if He has taken us and putting us in position, we don't know what's actually stopping us when something don't work our way. And sometimes what's happening is we get discouraged from the traffic. Now, if you're finna go up to Jamaica and you on your way to the flight and traffic is backed up, are you finna turn around and go home because the traffic backed up? So you putting your business together and somebody don't like the plan, or something didn't work out, or you didn't get that loan or whatever, as if that's the only place to get a loan. You didn't get the help. And then we just give up. Stop giving up on the vision that God has given you, the one that you have asked for. This is our season to move with expectation, expecting that the things that we desire, the things that have been placed in our hearts and our minds will come to fruition because God has said it. I don't know what you believe. I'm going to believe it for you and me. I don't know what God is doing in your life. I know what He's doing in mine. I'm not going to be too focused on yours, but what I am going to do is put a prayer on it. I'm going to pray that God touches the hearts and the minds of anyone that's listening, and even those that's not listening, Father God, as you allow them to see the vision that you would have for them, as you allow them to sit in the place of receiving that in which you have been prepared for them, Father God. Prepare our hearts and our minds so that we can receive it with expectations. We receive it believing believing and understanding that it is ours, Father God. In the mighty name of Jesus, I'm asking for those that don't have the vision, Father God, to put the vision into them, Father God. Allow their hearts and their minds to be settled on that in which you have said that they can have, Father God. Allow them to move with wisdom and not fear, Father God, with faith and not worry, Father God. In the mighty name of Jesus, even when those roadblocks come, Father God, give them the directions to make a U-turn, Father God, but not make a U-turn to go back home, Father God. Make a U-turn to find another route to take, Father God, understanding that this is their season for growth. This is their season, Father God, to prosper. This is their season to trust in you. Let your will be done in the name of Jesus as I pray. Amen. So I have a few questions, y'all. I'm finna tie this things up. So on another platform that I had a couple of questions come. These questions I've actually had. Some of them I've been asked, and when I'm coaching individuals and just things of that nature. So how do you know if you're ready to start preparing? Are you still thinking about that thing? Is it still just in your mind and your heart? You ain't moved on it, but you can't stop. It won't let you go. It got a hold on you. When you can't stop thinking about it, it's your confirmation. You don't have to have it all figured out. Sometimes we're trying to have it all figured out. If it pop into your mind, if it's sitting on your heart, this is time. It is time to take the information that's been given throughout this week and the weeks before. It is time. That's your confirmation. You don't have to have it all figured out, but you do need to start. Start it. How do you know it's time to warm up the car? Just go start it. How do you know it's time to leave? Start. Go. Just go. Just go. That's all. If it's on your mind, if it's on your heart, if it's not allowing you to rest, if it keep knocking at your door, keeping you up at night, and throughout the day, you trying to think about one thing, but it just keeps sneaking up through there, it's time to do something about it. That's how you know. That's how you know you're ready to start preparing, when it's not leaving you alone. Readiness is not perfection. Sometimes, I'm gonna do this when I get all this, and when I get all this, and like we trying to do stuff that ain't preparing. Wait till we get everything. It's not preparing. Preparing is doing it before we get out, before we know all the answers. Preparing is going ahead and do what we can with what we have, and as we do what we can with what we have, we allow the rest to come into place. It's obedience. Preparation, if we're trusting God to do a thing, preparing is saying, God, I know that you're going to do it. I believe you're going to do it. So here's my little bit. Here's my piece. Here's my mustard seed of faith. What if we don't have the money right now? We don't. If we don't have the money right now, then what we do is prepare. We might not have the money today to go to Jamaica, but if we go on to Jamaica in a year, you don't think you can get the money up in a year? I'm just saying, even if it had to start with $10. I remember me and sis, we actually a few years ago, she got and she bought it to me money challenges. So if you don't know, now you know. There's some tools and resources even online to allow you put a plan together to save the money. You can save $5,000 in a year just by pinching out a little bit every paycheck and putting it to the side. So if you don't have the money now, it don't matter. To be honest with you, it's actually really standing on faith when you do it without having the money. You ain't got the money for this business, but you're going to go ahead and start preparing. You're going to go ahead and start seeing what it is you could do, whether it's business plan, getting connected with people, standing in, whatever it is, we're not going to wait till the money get here to do it, because by the time the money get here, then you probably forgot what you need to be doing and doing something else. No, we're going to start this thing before the money comes. That's faith. God, I'll do what I can with what I have, and I'll trust that you do the rest. When I just took that trip to Washington, D.C., never been in Washington, D.C., one of the goals that I had for the year was to go to a conference, and I wanted to go to a conference outside of my area, right? And so Washington, D.C. housed a conference that I wanted to go to, so I went to Washington, D.C., and I actually planned that trip without having all the details. I didn't even know where I was going. I just wanted to go, and I knew it was on my goals to go to Washington. So I actually said I was going to Washington, y'all. I didn't know nobody there. I don't even know if I'm going to meet somebody in there, and all the things in the thing, right? I started planning it. Well, my income shifted with one of my side gigs that I had around the time that it's time for me to go on this trip. So I got the flight. I didn't know how I was gonna get the flight. My best friend actually he paid for the flight for me. He is just a best friend, but he got me, I got him. He paid for the flight. I was just actually joking with him. I was like, you want to get this flight for me to Washington so I can go to this thing? He paid for the flight. That's one thing out the way. I didn't even know he was gonna say yeah, but he said yeah within a heartbeat and he did it, right? So I said, okay. So I got the ticket in it. Here you go. I gotta find a room. Baby, them it was costing. It was costing. I said, Lord, well, I don't know how this gonna work. So around the time, here it is, it's time for me to go. Now I got this room, I done bought my ticket, all the things, but there was a shift in the atmosphere with some things. And I'm like, okay, God, now I got, I don't know. I don't want to go in this little spot right here. So I need you to just show up. And I promise you on everything. One may look at it different and say, well, I had unexpected money come in, and if you see the account and you see what happened, literally, I wasn't even expecting this money to come in, and it was enough of what I needed to pay for the ticket. I mean, pay for my room, so I was able to get my Airbnb while I was there. So then I get to, now my income is shifted, so I'm a little nervous, but I'm still gonna go, right? So I get to, I'm actually finna leave, and I asked my aunt for a little purse. You know what I'm saying? I wanted a little backpack purse. It's a real story. This was just a couple of months ago. Asked for a little backpack purse. Don't nobody know. I don't put everybody in my business if I got it or don't got it or whatever. I'm just gonna keep on going. So we were just talking, and it was funny that I got home, and I'm finna go and I'm finna put my stuff in this purse, and I see $50 bill in there. So I'm on the phone with my auntie because I'm like, Auntie, I think you left some money in here because I know I didn't put it in there. It had to be her. And she said, no, Pumpkin. She always called me Pumpkin. She said, no, Pumpkin. She said, I wasn't expecting to do that. But as I was walking back there to do, it was something that she was walking through the kitchen and doing. She said, I heard the spirit that said, just said, bless her. I said, thank you, Holy Spirit. Then I got an email from the individuals because I thought I was thanking them for just the opportunity. They had sent me books before for something that I was hosting. Got an opportunity. I sent them an email. Thank you. I'm on my way to Washington. I'm so excited. They sent me a gift card to the coffee shop that I have been wanting to see for the last 4 years, that I got an opportunity to go sit in, sat there for hours, reading my book, sipping on my little latte, all those things. They sent me a gift card. That gift card covered everything I needed. I had already had in mind on what I was going to go because I was just going to sit for a little minute because I just wanted to be in the space. God worked it out, right? It was just work. Then I get there and I'm like, I don't know nobody here. So I'm just going to have to walk around here and walk back. I'm walking in, and for the second day, young lady, the first day she saw me, she said, I just love your hair. She had so much energy. We spoke. I said, thank you. We went on about our business. She was working. The second day I go in there and she's like, I just really love your hair. So she struck a conversation, want to know where I'm from and things of that nature. And I told her, and I, not knowing that God was preparing some things, we keep in contact now. We actually have some things that we are going to work on and partner on that's going to be awesome. That's actually in line with what I'm doing. But she took me around. She took me, we ate dinner with her family. We went to a little spot and had us some dinner. And, we went to Maryland. She was like, I got you for the weekend, sis. She didn't know me. So everything I needed, it took place. It was so simple, but it was so needed. Everything I needed actually played the part that it needed to play. I didn't have to have extra. I didn't have to do extra. Y'all, it was all the way to the point I had been dealing with sciatic. If you know about sciatic, it's very disrespectful. Honey, I had been dealing with sciatic. So even standing up long, walking long, that thing can be hurting sometimes. I went to Washington. I literally walked 30 minutes, like 30, 45 minutes from the coffee shop to my Airbnb. I could have Ubered, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't no even thing to Uber. I was like, it was a nice day. I had my little book. I'm reading, I'm walking. And before you know it, I'm like, Lord, when I say I was in Washington, I ain't had no pain. Because that was one of the things, like, Lord, let me get up here and be able to walk without pain or deal with all this extra. Listen, it will happen. You just have to know, you have to be connected, and you got to stand on faith. Listen, I went to Washington, had a good time. Everything I needed was actually taken care of. I didn't know how it was going to all play out. I didn't even have to feed myself going to Washington. I ain't had to feed myself. I didn't have to do anything. I was prepared to do it. Irregardless of how things shifted. I was prepared to do it, but God said, no, I got you. Being that you stepped on faith and you still trusted me through the process, I'm going to make sure it all work out. And it did. I'm just saying. If you ain't got it, don't worry. That's not what we're going to focus on. We're going to focus on getting to where we're going to go. That's just it. That's all. What if my family and friends don't support my vision? So, sometimes people can't see what God has showed you. It was you and God in there. It wasn't even you and cousin them that was sitting in the room when you and God had to talk. So they may not believe in it. They may not see it, depending on the person. Look at their life. Depending on what they had in their own life, of course, they may not even be able to see the goodness and the bigness that God is about to do in yours. So you have to be mindful. It is okay. It's your vision. It's not a group project. We around here treating our vision like it's a group project. And I know sometimes because we may be a little nervous, scared, and we want somebody to believe in us. Believe in yourself. Are you going to stop believing before because somebody else? Keep preparing quietly. If some you've had and you ran that vision by somebody and they ain't with it or whatever, okay, it's fine. I'm gonna show you anyway. Let your results speak for you. Because then when they see it's coming together and you making all that moolah, they're going to be over there, can I? Now, I ain't gonna, y'all, that's another day. That's a story for another day. We gonna let God work in the heart on that one. I ain't going to tell you to do nothing crazy. I'm just saying, it's not a group project, y'all. Keep preparing anyway and see the results. Remember Noah built the ark before there was rain. There was no rain and he was out here building that ark anyway. He didn't know when the rain was going to come. God just said, build it. And he went out there and he did it. You didn't even see him say, you need let me go work and make some money so I can get some material. No, he going to show up and show out. You just got to trust him with it. God will send you the right support once you start moving. When you start moving, he's going to send you what you need. All you have to do is start moving, not worrying about who gonna stand with you. Maybe they ain't meant to stand with you in this season. There are some people that we have to walk away from. There's some things that we have to walk away from in order for God to do what needs to be done. If Noah will still want to hang out with the homeboys and this and that, while he spoke, it was a distraction. So Noah had to step away from some people so he can get focused on building his ark as he was told to do. I'm just saying it's going to happen. How do we stay consistent when life get busy? That's the point of having a vision up front. And what it does is, and that's why I do the boards, because I keep it visual, right? One, when I get distracted, get pulled, or sit in this space like, what do I do? What do I do? I look at my goals. And I go start from there. So that's always going to be, God is going to be this foundation, but that's going to be, that's going to be the bricks. You know what I'm saying? I go back to it. So, okay, if you have a busy life or a busy schedule, what about you though? Even if it's just 15 minutes a day to work on something. If you're trying to write a book, give yourself an hour. If you cannot find an hour out of a 24-hour day for yourself, something is wrong. You don't have no boundary set. You are out of order. There's some things you're not focused. If you cannot find an hour to yourself, one of the reasons I start waking up early so I can do for me, because I know the day is going to require a lot. When you're a parent, when you've been in this space where a lot of people depend on you, a caretaker, you work and all these things. So before the crows start croaking, what they do, y'all, making it whatever. We ain't gonna. Oh, I get tickled at myself sometimes. Don't judge me. This is real life, y'all. But I'm up early because I'm working on some things. There are some things that I need to prepare. And before everybody start pulling at me and need me, I'm putting the time in. If you can't take the time out for what's important to you, what's going to help you move your life forward, what's attached to your goal and your purpose, and baby, I don't. We're going to have a whole talk. We're going to have to get on the phone because this time right here ain't gonna work. I'm just going to say, you have to make time for what's important to you. Consistency, it's not about being perfect. You thinking about this book and you think you're supposed to write this whole book today. No, that don't even work like that. If you give yourself a year to write and publish that book, it is okay as long as you making the steps, as long as you staying consistent. I don't care if you say I ain't got but 30 minutes to give. You better give it them 30 minutes, and you better give them 30 minutes without distraction. I'm just saying. What have I failed at this before? The first book, it wasn't a fail. The first book that I published the book. It was published and everything, but then I forgot it, and I looked at it a second time, and then when I looked at it, I just needed some extra work. You know what I'm saying? I didn't fail at it. What I did was I learned from what I did, and I took and I applied it, and I just redid the book. That's it. That's it. That's it. Failure doesn't mean it's over. It just means you've learned what don't work. Sometimes we are sitting and if we do something, it didn't work out. Like, listen, I've been over here. Those that know me, they know me. I've been over here creating. I've been over here doing. I've been over here showing up. I've been over here preparing. And there are some things that I have worked on that didn't produce the way I wanted it to produce, but I'm still here. I'm going to stand in it because I believe in it and I know it's going to work out. So what I've done is I've allowed myself to just evaluate. That's why I even start now. We went through this year. It is November. There is some things throughout this year that didn't work out the way I wanted to work out, that didn't pan out the way I sat and I planned it. I put it together. I prepared. I did all the things that I thought I needed to do, but there were some things just didn't work out. Does that make me a failure? I only fail when I say, okay, now I'm done. I'm not going to do this no more. But I am not a failure. You are not a failure when you decide to look at it and say, okay, I see that right there is what I need to learn. That this right here don't work. So let me take and remove this piece and let me go restructure it. I don't care how many times I got to do it. I'm going to stand in the line till my name is called. So that means we're building my business, doing whatever it needs to do. I'm standing here until the name is called. So if I get it wrong the first time, I'm going to see what I got wrong so that I can apply that with getting it right. Every dream has a testing season. You're going to be tested. Quit walking through these spaces thinking that it's just going to be perfect. No, we are going to be tested. Are you willing? Are you able? Are you positioned to be tested? If you ain't wanting to be tested, if you're not wanting to sacrifice, if you're not wanting to count the cost, I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm going to tell you just go talk to God about it, because what the human in me would just say you're just not ready. But this is the season that we're going to be ready. Every dream has a testing season. God often uses part of failure as training. Sometimes we in training because sometimes, honestly, I know me. I ain't telling your business. I'm telling my business. Sometimes I'm doing this thing, but I ain't partnering with God with all the steps. There are some steps that I've taken, some things that I've done it, and Tawanda have done it. I didn't go to God and say, God, is this the turn you want me to take? What I did was I silenced my GPS, y'all. I silenced my GPS, and I ain't hear the woman tell me what step to take. I'm just saying. I'm trying to do better with drinking me a little water. God often uses our past failures as training. That's why I, Tawanda, am a certified and called coach. I'm a best-selling author, and I'm the podcast host of Talks with Tawanda. And those things did not come without cost. Those things are not coming without cost. They are coming, and they are in position, and they have me in position to where I have to stay on course. I have to look at those moments where they didn't work out. I've been married and divorced 3 times. I ain't failed at marriage. The marriages didn't work, but it don't make me a failure. I know, I see, I can evaluate. I'm accountable for every decision, every moment, every opportunity, the red flags I missed, the blue flags I missed, the white flag, whatever. I am accountable for it. So I get to look at those spaces that I was in, and I get to learn something. And in that learning, I get to apply it to where I'm going. I'm just saying, y'all ain't ready for it. It's time that you're preparing different. That's all it says. When something don't work, just prepare it differently. Don't give up on it. Don't just stop. Just do it differently. How do I know if God's plan? It's the last question. How do I know if my plan is aligned with God's will? when your plan brings you peace? If you're actually doing something, it's just a pull, a tug of war. You're not peaceful about it. You back and forth about it, like yada yada yada. I met this guy. I'm single, been single 5 years. I'm just gonna show personal story. I met this guy, cool guy, you know what I'm saying, or whatever the case may be. But it was just something about it. It was like a tug. It was a tug of war between me saying, yeah, maybe he not my he, and then let me just see a little bit. And it was a tug of war. I wasn't at peace with it. It wasn't God. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I do this thing, Lord. If there's anybody in my presence, anybody that I'm allowing myself to connect to that is not according to your will, that you would not have me going into this next season with, please allow it to show itself. Because I want to walk in alignment. Going into this now, I ain't gonna have no fourth divorce, y'all. I'm just saying. We're not gonna do that again. I'd rather stay single than to do that again. I'm just sorry. We're not, things happen. We'll talk about that on another day. If you really, really want to know how those moments played out, we'll talk about that's not what we hear today. We put a plan together. But I say that to say, where I'm desiring and I have it in my heart, it's a vision to be married because I am wife material. I'm just not going to settle. So according to what I've learned before, I apply that into the space that I'm entering into. And if it don't feel right in my gut, because I remember those moments, it's going to be it's for me. I don't know where yours come at, but my intuition come right here in my gut. I feel it. It's just a pull. It's uneasy. It's like, it's just not going to work. And that's my moment. That's my cue to say, okay, God, maybe this is not what it is. If it's draining you, it's not your purpose. If it's one thing to be tired from all the steps, I do things, workshops, and I be tired. I be, a little, and I'm shifting things as I'm seeing where it's not working. I am shifting things. So I'm doing things different. I have another launch that I'm getting ready to work on because, hey, the one that I did, it worked, but it's not working. You know what I'm saying? So I know according to what have been done and what has worked, I also know some things I can do different in this space. If I don't feel good about it, if it's not resting, then maybe it's not meant to be done. Keep checking with God through your prayers and journaling. Keep going back. There's some things, if you look at my journal, like, why is she still asking this man this? Like, I be telling God, break it down to me in baby steps. Make it so plain for me to see it, like feed it to me like a baby. I'm just saying, because I want to get it right. Proverbs 16:3 says, commit to the Lord whatever you do, and he will establish the plan. So if you see my life moving slow, if you see things moving slow, don't worry about me. Worry about yourself. That's what you need to tell other people as well. When you see my life moving the way it's moving, don't worry about me. Worry about yourself, because I'm not in competition with nobody else. I'm only waiting for God to tell me to move when it's time to move. We have to stop looking at what everybody else is saying about our vision and the plan that God gave us. And we just need to stand on his word, because he has already determined that this is what he needs us to do. And when we're focusing on what everybody else think and what everybody else feel, then we are in a position to where it just gonna mess up. We ain't gonna be at peace, because worried about focusing on everybody else. We're gonna focus on what God said. If God say you're gonna do it, man can't tell you you're not. I don't care what it looks like. It may not happen today, y'all. But remember what we're gonna do. We're gonna stand in the line until our name is called, because we know that there is purpose for us. I'm just saying. Hey, man, I love y'all. It has been great. I am way over time. It's been an hour and 30 minutes. Thanks for rocking with me. I am your girl, Coach Tawanda. I am a called and certified personal development and goals coach. I am a best-selling author, and I am a podcast host of Talks with Tawanda. You can catch me on Spotify and YouTube. Hey, there's a link in my bio. Click that link if you want to learn a little bit more about me. There are some resources that I have to help you through some of the talks that we have had talking about mindset and things of that nature. I have resources throughout my website. If it's something that you need, you can't get into a whole 12-week coaching program with me. But guess what? I have an online coaching course as well, broken down to help guide you through the steps or visioning your journey, allowing you to live the life you desire, getting you from where you are to where you want to be. So listen, I love y'all. Just remember, Monday we had our vision, so we know what it is that we're going to do. Some of us is going to Jamaica, some of us is building business, some of us is buying a house, some of us is doing whatever it is you're going to do. I don't know that information, but you do. You're going to take that vision that you have, that God placed in your heart, and then you're going to put a goal to it. You're going to know what it is that you need to do to accomplish this thing that you are setting out to do. And then when you have those goals in place, you are going to prepare. Remember also, we was talking a week or so ago, we had to prepare our hearts. We had to prepare our mind. That's why I went through those steps, because I can tell you to go do, get your vision and go do this and hee ha ha, go make all the money. But if your mindset and your heart is not positioned in right, then you're going to miss some stuff. These are steps. We're going to start with the mind. We are going to start with the mind, because according to what we think, and then we're going to speak, and then according to what we speak, and then we're going to move, and that's going to become our actions. So if we think we cannot do it, then we're going to move in a way to where it cannot be done. We are calling to the things to show us that it cannot be done. If we think that it's not going to happen, it's not going to happen. So this is the moment, the season that we have to be intentional about our thoughts. We're going to think, and we're going to know, and we're going to believe that this thing is for us, and what's for us is for us. And that is what it is. Man, I love y'all. Thank y'all so much. My little phone over here, iPhone, it went dead, so TikTok lost me, but it is okay. I gotta find my charger. I think I left it in my sister's car. It's been gone for 2 weeks, and I ain't done nothing about it. But anyway, that's it. That's all. I can't wait to meet you back here tomorrow at 7 a.m. I'm going to try not to be long, but if the spirit leads me to sit here, then we just going to sit here, because at the end of the day, I'm going to give you what I need to give you to help you get from where you are to where you want to be. I love you. I thank you. I pray that you have an amazing day on purpose. Bye-bye.